Hey guys, so welcome back to my channel. It's your girl GH Kings. So we're still on the modern day young Christian series, and in this series we're still doing the book of Genesis. Okay, so now we on the story of Noah. Okay, so for today's video we're actually going to look at Noah's family tree or Noah's genealogy after the flood, and also the tower of Babel. Okay, so these two stories are from Genesis chapter 10 to Genesis chapter 11. The family tree of Noah is in Genesis chapter 10, and the Tower of Babel is in Genesis chapter 11. And the image that I have here is actually the Tower of Babel. Okay, so let's continue. So we have two memory verses for today's message. Okay, one from each chapter of that we're going to be focusing on. So the first one is found in Genesis chapter 10 verse 32, and it says, these are the families of the sons of Noah after their generation in their nation, and by these were the nations divided in earth after the flood. So after the flood, of course, the nations will be divided into three, because there are three sons of Noah. And as we read from the other story last week, Noah has a son called Shem, another one called Ham, and another one called Japheth. Okay, so our second memory verse is taken from Genesis chapter 11 verse 5 to 8, and this memory verse says, "And the Lord came down to see the city and the tower which the children of men builded." Verse 6, "And the Lord said, Behold, the people is one, and they have all one language, and this they begin to do, and now nothing will be restrained from them which they have imagined to do." Verse 7, "Go to, let us go down, and there confound their language, that they may not understand one another's speech." Verse 8, "So the Lord scattered them abroad from thence upon the face of the earth, and they left off to build the city." Okay, so this is intense. The first one talks about the family tree of Noah. The second one talks about the Tower of Babel, and why God actually caused confusion of languages. This actually explains to us why we have so many languages on this earth. So Genesis chapter 10, I really wanted you guys to have a visual look of Genesis chapter 10, because all it does, like this part of the Bible, like I'm not gonna lie to you guys, when I start studying the Bible for myself, whenever I get to the point where it says, "And this person begot this person, and this person begot this person," I was so bored. God forgive me for saying this, but I always was so bored. I was like, oh my God, I don't understand them. This person begot this. Why do I need to know? But as I was reading the Bible, I understood why I needed to know, because when you follow the genealogy, you get a sense of why God chose different people, and you get a sense of the genealogy of Jesus Christ. Okay, so for Genesis chapter 10, I didn't want you guys to be so bored. So what I did is I googled the genealogy, or the descendants of Noah, so that you have a chart so I will be able to explain to you guys, for you guys to have a better understanding of what is going on, instead of us just reading, "Oh, Japheth begot Gomer, Gomer begot this person begot that." We don't even get it, but when we look at it, we actually understand it. Okay, so here we're going to start off with Noah. Why is this not working? Okay, so Noah is the father. Oh my God, I'm not seeing this thing I'm supposed to. Okay, Noah is the father, and as you can see, one of the son Japheth, the other son is Ham, and the other son is Shem. Okay, and this genealogy is so easy because they're breaking it down. So as you can see, Japheth had a child called Gomer, and all of them are male. Okay, that's why they have their names here, because remember, in the olden days in the Bible, for a woman, you have to have done something, or your name have to actually mean something for you to be written in the Bible. So Japheth had Gomer, Magog, Madia, Madai, Javan, I can't even pronounce their name, so I'm not even gonna try. So these are the family of Japheth. Let's just say that all these people are family of Japheth. Okay, and these ones, the first ones are the children of Japheth, and then the ones underneath them are the grandchildren. Okay, the same for Ham. Ham had Cush, Mizram, and then Canaan. And let me explain this something to you. This one of what's his name, Moses' wife was actually a Cushite. Okay, Moses' wife was actually a Cushite. So Moses' wife actually came from the family of Ham. Okay, and as we know, Ham is the one that actually saw the nakedness of Noah, and Noah cursed Ham. And as we study the Bible, we will actually understand. We will actually see how the curse that Noah placed on Ham and his generation operated and how it actually affected them. Okay, so yeah, that's Ham and his family right there. And as we go down because I don't know how to pronounce these names. Some names that were very vivid in the Bible was, it kept coming: Canaan. Okay, Sidon, of course. We will see Sidon. We will see the Amorites, the Jebusites. You will see them, the Hivites. Those are the tall people, big men. In fact, they are not like weak. They are really strong men. Okay, they in fact they are scary people. Those are the family line of Ham. And as we go down, we will notice that the Philistines actually come from the family of Ham. So as you can see, all those people that the Israelites were fighting, they actually came from the genealogy of Ham. And those people are cursed. That's why, they will fight them, and then even though they seem like they were winning, at the end of the day, God will actually help the Israelites to win. Okay, so let's go to the family of Shem. So God actually said Japheth will actually live in the house of Shem, and then Ham will serve Ham will be what you call it, a servant upon servant, meaning he will serve Japheth in the house of Shem, and also serve Shem in the house of Shem. Okay, he also serve Shem in his own house as well. And one thing as you go forward, you notice is that Ham, that's where black people come from. So I guess now you can see why black people have problems. It's because of Ham. We come from the genealogy of Ham, but we can all break these curses. Okay? We can all break all these curses. We don't have to operate because there are still rich black people. We don't have to be poor because black people are cursed. Because Ham decided to look at the nakedness of Noah. And the Japheth people, that's where the Europeans come from. The Europeans, or white people, let's just say that they come from Japheth. And for Shem, that's the Asians. So if we actually a study of the Bible, we will see that the Asians are really blessed by God. Because they are the ones that, if you look at the Bible, they are the ones that, in fact, they are in charge of everything here by what we're seeing. Because Japheth is going to live in the house of Shem, Ham is going to be a servant, to them both. So it's like, they were like, okay, they were really, I don't know what happened, they were really up there. So that's actually good. So this is the genealogy, okay? So let's look at some people in the family of Shem. Eliam, we have Asher, we have Selah, we have Aaron. Okay, and as it goes down, this particular line, I want us to actually pay a close attention to: Peleg, Ru, Sirach, Terah, Abram. That's the genealogy that's actually going to continue to the one of Jesus Christ. This is why I'm saying it's very important that we actually study the genealogy, so we don't just skip them. And it's good when you have like a table like this, or like a tree like this, so it will be easier for you to understand. We have Peleg and the genealogy of Shem. We have Ru, we have Sirach, we have Terah. That's the father of Abraham. And now we have Abram, who is Abraham himself. And as we will see from time going, we will see that Abraham too will have children: Isaac will have Jacob will have the 12 tribes of Israel, and those throughout the 12 tribes of Israel we have David, and Joseph, the father of Jesus Christ, will also come under that same family tree. And then we have Jesus Christ, the Messiah, from that family tree. So this is the family tree where Jesus Christ actually comes from. Okay, that's the family tree where Jesus Christ actually comes from. the family of Shem. Okay. So yeah, this is also another one. Just in case you guys didn't understand the one that I just explained, it's another genealogy. It's the same thing, okay, but here it just goes more into details, talking about here too. It also talks about the Arabians, and it just a different way of putting it. It says Philistines. Oh, it's my bad. It says the Philistines for for Ham. It also talks about the family of the Canaanites, all those people. Sheba, Babylon. So the Babylonians, they actually from Cush, the Cushites, from the family of Ham, as you can see. Saudi Arabia, they also from there. When we go to Shem, we see the tribe of the Arabia. Okay, we see Arabians over there. When we go to, let's see, yeah, I told you guys. We go this way, we see Nahor, we see Terah, we see Abraham, also known as Abraham. We go up, we see the Gentiles, and because Goma and all those people. Yeah, so basically the same thing. So you guys, I hope you guys have understanding of verse 10. I didn't want us to just read this person begot this person begot that, because I feel like it's just boring. So when you have a tree like this, it actually makes it easier for you to understand, because you have something visual that you're actually looking at. Okay. And here I found like a map of how these people actually are located and stuff. So the family of Ham, like I said, they were located here. That's is it Put? That's how you pronounce it, around the Mediterranean Sea. So you can actually have your phone out, Google the Mediterranean Sea, like countries around there. That's where the people of Ham actually from. We see Africa right there. We see Libya. We see a whole lot of countries. Okay, Kush over here. We see a whole lot of countries. So yeah, the family of Ham, Africa over there, and then we see the family of Japhet. They up there in Europe. And whatnot. And then we see the family of Shem. They over here like in Asia, Magog. Gulf of Guinea. But my thing is like um what, let me not even go into that. And maybe as we get more into these videos, one day we'll talk about that. So for now, let's just talk about this. We see the Black Sea right there around Europe, for the family of Japheth. So I just wanted you guys to see how it actually looks like. Okay, how this thing actually looks like, the map of where the place where actually all these people were located. The Red Sea over there. The Red Sea over there. So yeah, hopefully you guys have a visual understanding of it. So now let's go to Genesis chapter 11. So the Tower of Babel. Let's read verse 1. And the whole earth was of one language and one speech. And it came to pass, as they journeyed from the east, that they found a plain in the land of Shinar, and they dwelt there. Verse 3. And they said to one another, Go, let us make a brick and burn them thoroughly. And they had brick for stone, and slime had they for mortar. Verse 4. And they said, Go to, let us build a city and a tower, whose top may reach unto heaven, and let us make a name, lest we be scattered abroad upon the face of the whole earth. I have a problem with that verse 4 right there. Who told them they were going to be scattered? Were they not journeying together? They were traveling together. So who brought this idea to them that they will be scattered upon the surface of earth? And what they said actually came to pass because of what they did, because God was not going to scatter them up. It's what they said. That's why we need to be very careful about what we use our mouth to say. We need to use our mouth to say good things and not bad things. And here they wanted to make name for themselves. Like, why do you have to make name for yourself? For what reason? For what reason do you have to make name for yourself? So there is no other way you can make a name for yourself than to build a tower that goes to heaven. Seriously. And one thing I can actually learn, or we can learn from here, is that technology, build and construction has been there even in the olden day, because for them to build a tower that almost goes to heaven, that's some deep stuff. That's some good construction work they did right there. That's some good construction work they did there. So as you can see, technology has been there. Okay, it has been there. God has given human the power, the knowledge to do all these things back in the days. Okay, so it's not something that just came from nowhere. So verse 5, and the Lord came down to see the city and the tower which the children of men builded. And the Lord said, behold, the people is one, and they have one language. And this they begin to do. And now nothing will be restrained from them, which they have imagined to do. Let us go down, and there confuse their language, that they may not understand one another's speech. Verse 8, and the Lord scattered them abroad from hence upon the face of all the earth, and they left off to build the city. Verse 9, therefore is the name of it called Babel, because the Lord did there confound the language of all the earth, and from hence did the Lord scatter them abroad upon the face of all the earth. So we can see, first of all, there is no way God was going to scatter them. God scattered them because of what they said and what they did. They already said they were going to be scattered. So God, okay, since you already said it, let me scatter you people. So sometimes, that's what I'm saying, sometimes we need to use our mouth to say good things. Sometimes we proclaim or say bad things to our life, and they actually manifest, because words are spirit. So we need to always be careful of what we say. God never was going to scatter them abroad. It's something they already said that it would happen to them in verse 4. So verse 8, God just made it happen. And God confused their language, because God knew if he did not confuse their language, and they spoke the same language, since they are really smart, he made them smart. If they will come, they might, they will even do something worse than what they're even doing now. So God confused their language so that they will not do, as much harm. They will not commit harm, because now if your language is being confused, like you can't understand each other, so you can't work together. You might have to maybe do sign language, or I don't know what you're gonna do, but you know what I'm saying. So this is how different languages came on the earth. And I was saying to someone, like, I guess Africans, a lot of Africans, black people partook in this, because when you go to Africa, one country can have 500 languages. Just one country can, like, I found out Ghana has 250 languages. I was surprised. I was like, what? $250? Who is speaking all these dialects? I was like, hey, during the time, this time, when the Tower of Babel was there, I guess there were a lot of Ghanaians there. For them to have 250 languages, like, come on, are you for real? Seriously? You understand what I'm saying? So yeah, it's just, this is bad. Like, sometimes I'm like, God, like, is really trying with the human race, because I don't know, like, I don't know, God is really trying with us, because he created us, and like every day we just cause trouble for him. Every time we cause trouble for God. Okay, so this also is a very detailed explanation, okay, of the tree of Shem, okay, because Genesis chapter 11 verse 10 to 27 actually talked a lot about the genealogy of Shem. And like I told you guys, I don't really like the whole thing about somebody begot this person begot that, so and so begot this. I like to see a visual explanation of it, so that I can relate to it, so that as I'm reading, I can make connections with the family tree, So like you said, Shem is the one that Abraham was like, oh, Japheth will live in his house, and then Ham will be a servant unto him and whatnot. Okay, so Shem is a family tree that Jesus Christ actually came from, like we said earlier a few seconds ago. So let's talk about the genealogy of Shem again. Okay, so in the family of Shem, we have Eliam. I think that's how you say it. Eliam. Guys, like my pronunciation, take me as I am. Okay, we have Eliam, we have Asa, we have this one self, I can't even pronounce. I'm not even gonna try. We have Lord, we have Aram. And then under those people, for example, like under This one they don't want to pronounce. I guess I have to. Arphaxad. We have Selah, we have Eber, we have Peleg, we have Ru, we have Sarah, we have Nahor, we have Terah. And then under Terah is the father of Abraham. Okay? Terah is the father of Abraham. Under Terah, we have Nahor, Abraham's brother, who the Bible didn't really say much about. It just said Abraham's brother was Nahor. And then we have Abraham himself, the main man. Okay, and then we have Haran, Abraham's brother who died. Okay, the father of Lot, Abraham's nephew. Okay, so that's where Abraham comes from. And then we have under Abraham. Actually, let me go to Lot first, since he has less people there. Under Haran, that's Abraham's brother who died before they even traveled. We have Lot, Abraham's nephew, who he traveled with, and he also who ended up in Sodom and Gomorrah. We're actually gonna talk about that story. Okay, and under Lot, Lot had 2 children, and we will talk about them. The children actually slept with their father, such an abomination, in order to have children, because it was just them, and they were afraid that the father will not, have no children, and then the father's name will just vanish upon earth. So they decided to sleep with their father, make him drunk, and sleep with them. That's how we got the Moabites. Okay, that's how we got the Amorabites. All these people that fought the Israelites, that's where we got them from. These people too fought the Israelites. These people are the people from Ham's genealogy. They fought the Israelites. So yeah, the Moabites, the Ammonites. Okay, so now let's go to. Give me a second. I'm not really focusing on these people because they really there isn't much said about them, okay, in the Bible. But this particular genealogy right here, there is a whole lot, okay, said about them. That's why I'm actually focusing, more on them. Okay, so for Abraham, another interesting man. Abraham's original wife, in fact, let me just say Abraham's wife was Sarah. Sarah is the one that gave birth to Isaac, the promised child. Okay, and then Abraham slept with Hagar, who was Sarah's maid. That's how the Ishmaelites came about. And then when Sarah died, Abraham was with another woman. I forgot the woman's name right now. And that's how the Midianites and all these people came about. And as we get into the story of Gideon, we will talk about the Midianites. Okay, we will talk about the Midianites and some of these people. So yeah, going back to Isaac. So Isaac was a chosen child of God. Okay, so Isaac too had 2 children, Jacob and Esau. They were twins, but God has already chosen Jacob even before they were born. And under Jacob, that's where the Israelites, the 12 tribes of Israel, the children of Jacob, that's where they fall under. Okay, so when we go to the story of Esau, Esau is the twin brother of Jacob. God did not choose him, but then that's where the Edomites also, they are very strong people. That's where they actually from. And one thing I did not say about the children of Ishmael, because Ishmael's mother was an Egyptian. I would say Ishmael was a black boy, or a dark skinned boy, or maybe he had the curly hair with a darker complexion. And that's where the Ishmaelites come from, and that's where the Muslims actually originated. So, some people get offended when people say, oh, the Muslims are related to Christians, or they're related to Abraham. I don't know why they get upset, because it's true. They are related to Abraham, because if you go back, they came from Ishmael, and Ishmael's father is Abraham. Even though he was not the chosen child. God still blessed Ishmael. We will I think we will talk about Ishmael and how God even told Haggai, as the angel of God told Haggai that he will make 12 tribes come out, meaning 12 children to come out of the life of Ishmael, which actually happened. Okay, so yeah, that's where the Arabs came from. Muslims came from, and then we already talked about this. This is the other. I forgot the woman said, the other woman that let me actually is we'll talk about it later. The other woman that Abraham was with when Sarah died. Yeah, that's the children that she had. They also became troublesome to the Israelites, especially during the time of Gideon, because especially the Midianites, when the Israelites grow crops, they will come and cut them down. Can you imagine that? They will cut them down for no reason, hard labor, nothing to show for it. They were scaring the Israelites. They were going hungry until God made a leader out of Gideon. Okay, so now verse 28 to 32. And Haran died before his father Terah in the land of his nativity in of the Chaldees. And Adam and Nahor took themselves wife, and Abraham's wife's name was Sarai, and the name of Nahor's wife was Milcah, and the daughter of Haran, the father of Milcah, and the father of Ishka. But Sarai was barren; she had no child. And Terah took Abram his son, and Lot the son of Haran, his son's son, and Sarai his daughter-in-law, his son Abraham's wife, and they went forth with them from of the Chaldees, oh my God, to go to the land of Canaan. And they came unto Haran and dwelt there. Verse 32. And the days of Terah were 205 years, and Terah died in Haran. So, before we actually learned that God actually said, you know what, man is going to live 120, but you can see when God bless you, he bless you. He actually added more years to some people. Like this man, he lived for 205 years and he died. And we will actually find out the reason why he did not make it to Canaan, because Canaan is a place that God actually promised Abraham, not Abraham's father. It was intentionally, God did this intentionally. Like Abraham's father wanted them to go to Canaan, but God is like, hey yo, it's not your destiny. It's like the same way, David wanted to build a house for God, and God's like, yo, it's your son that's going to build me that. It's not you. You understand what I'm saying? Like I always say, we all have a destiny to fulfill. Your destiny may be point A, someone else's destiny may be point B. Just because you think point A and B is available and you can do both doesn't mean you are supposed to be doing that. It's always important to actually pray and find out your purpose on earth. Okay? Your purpose. His purpose was probably to lead Abraham to go to wherever it is that they go to, but it was Abraham's destiny to actually see and live in the land of Canaan. Okay, so that's what happened over there. So I think that's it. We're done with Genesis chapter 10 and chapter 11. I hope you guys learned. I really enjoyed this particular topic because there's a huge lesson for us to learn from these chapters. We can see the human race, what the human race can be, what the human race is capable of doing, and there is absolutely no way we can actually be like God, because He's the one that created us. Our knowledge is limited, His own is not limited. We need to like everything that God has given us. We need to be acceptance of it, and the more we appreciate it, the more better for us. We should not try to be like God, because we are not God. We are mini gods. Okay, we are mini gods, but we have limitation. We should not try to mimic things that God has done. We should not try to be God Himself. That's what Satan tried, that God actually brought him on earth. And now these people at the Tower of Babel, they also tried it. And God, scattered their languages. So now I guess we have a basic understanding of the reason why we all speak different dialects. We all speak different languages. It originated from the Bible. It's not like coincidence that someone speaks Spanish, someone speaks English, someone speaks another language because they're from Africa, someone speaks French, you know. all these different dialects. It did not just happen. It happened for a good reason. Before, we were all speaking one language, and until we leave earth, it's still gonna be the same way. When we go to heaven, everything's gonna be in order, and we will go back to speaking that one language. But for now, as we're here on earth, it is what it is. We can't stop it. We can't change it. It's something that has happened because of our ancestors. Okay. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I did enjoy it. And if you're here and you have not given your life to Christ, and by listening, by partaking in this Bible studies, you have decided that you want to give your life to Christ, you can actually say this short prayer with me. Okay. Dear Lord Jesus, I know that I'm a sinner. I ask for your forgiveness. I believe you died for my sins and rose from the dead. I turn from my sins and invite you to come into my heart and life. I want to trust and follow you as my Lord and Savior. Amen. And like I always say, find a church close by you, pray and ask God if it is a church, that He wants you to attend. Make sure that church is a Bible-based church, that they believe in God the Father, God the Son, and God the Holy Spirit. Okay? Because it's very important that you go to a Bible-based church, and like the most important thing is making sure God actually approves of that church that you are entering. And go there, explore, get a better understanding of God, and keep watching these videos. I hope to see you guys on my next one. Bye.